Hey guys, it's Matthew here.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know, cause why not, man? Hey guys, it's Matthew here, and I'm here with Gally, cause he's the only person that I have to talk to, cause I have no life. And today, we're gonna be reading Monstercat Fanfiction to cure our cancer. This is definitely gonna cure it, not give us cancer. I hope you like the horrible background. Okay, this story is called Adventures, a Monstercat fanfiction, and it is by Iris13. Let's read this. Alright, everybody. Chapter 1. I stared out of my window of my mom's van, my face expressionless. I had been stuck in the freaking thing for about 1 week, and I wasn't too happy about it. Actually, I wasn't happy about my whole situation I was in. My parents have got new jobs in Vancouver, Canada, and that was a long way from my previous home to Hollis, New Hampshire. Time zones, countries, location, everything was different. Thankfully, according to my dad, we were only half an hour away from our new home. Now, most people are probably wondering why we didn't just fly out. My mom did that, but only because she was helping the movers unpack. However, she couldn't afford plane tickets to Vancouver for all four of us. I have a brother. We also have no clue what gender this person is. So yeah, conclusion of my pitiful 14-year-old life. I sighed and closed my eyes, then thought, I'll only close my eyes for a minute. 1 minute later, I awoke to my little brother poking my arm at an almost inhuman speed while screaming, "Surprise, Jessica! We're here!" Okay, sorry, it's in all caps. We gotta yell. All caps. I sighed and muttered. Okay, wait, she sighed and muttered. Let me sigh. Alright. Ah, Sean, what's going on? We're where? My little brother looked at me for a moment before taking a deep breath and screaming, "Home!" We're home. Oh. I slowly sat up and looked at the house. It was nice. Probably a little larger than my last home. The front yard was grassy, and I'm going to move this iPad somewhere so you can hear Gally better when he's laughing his ass off. Yay! Best video. I'm not going to edit this out either, so you guys are going to have to listen to whatever that was. The front yard was grassy, and an area directly in front of the house was filled with flowers and flowering plants. A single maple tree rose up in the middle of the lawn, and I could imagine myself relaxing underneath it, writing music. Speaking of which, Dad, I asked, where's my room? And is my laptop, keyboard, and guitar in there? Oh shit, this dude's got a lot of shit. Okay, he nodded, then said, yeah. Now let's get out. I want to check out the interior. Yeah. Okay. Why am I talking like this? Yeah was not the answer to my problems when it comes to where is my bedroom, but I decided on asking my mom. It would make more sense to ask her. Anyways, she was the one who had been unpacking and setting up the house for the last week. I slowly got out of the car. It felt strange to be standing after I spent 1 week sitting, because I definitely believe you guys never went out of the car to go to the bathroom or anything, or eat any food. You're just fucking animals in a car for a week. After regaining my balance / control of legs, I headed towards the house and opened the door. My mom was seated on a couch, her legs propped up on our coffee table. She quickly stood up and happily said, "Hi, sweetie." I'm going to give a voice to the mom, because why not? We hugged tightly, and I whispered, "Where's my room?" I've been without music for a week, and I've experienced severe EDM withdrawal. Mom motioned up to the stairs. "First door to the right." "Thanks," I whispered. She nodded, and I quickly found the stairs, then sprinted up them. I pretty much slid into my room, then closed the door behind me, and then flopped onto my bed. I was silent for a moment, then grabbed my laptop, which was on my bedside table. Totally. I opened it up, then opened FL Studio and continued to work on a song that I was writing. Since I wasn't planning on going outside or speaking to anyone other than my family, I might as well be working on a song. Let's read some comments. What's outside? Dun 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 dun. Oh god. Never mind, they're talking about Pokemon. Let's just not get into that. Chapter 2. The next few days were like my first day there, minus the car ride. I stayed in my room, wrote music, and became addicted to YouTube. On my 4th day of living in my new house, I heard my mom call me from downstairs. "Jessica," she shouted, "we have visitors." I sighed and got up from my desk, then ran downstairs. Why am I giving them a country accent? Or her? There were 2 boys, obviously brothers, standing in the living room. The older one had black hair with green eyes, and the younger one, who looked to be around my age, had dark brown hair and green hazel eyes. Mom quickly walked over to me and said, "This is my daughter, Jessica." I shyly waved and mumbled, "Hi." The older of the 2 stepped forward and shook my hand. "I'm Leandre Barumbe." What the fuck is that name? He told me. I smiled and quietly said, "Nice to meet you, Leandre." And then he said, "Call me Leo." He laughed. And stepped back a little. His brother quickly blurted out, "I'm Gabriel, but you can call me Gabe." "Cool," I murmured. To anyone else, it probably sounded like I was just being extremely shy. However, my brain was working a mile a minute. Leandre Barumbe. Where had I heard that name before? I racked my brain for answers, going through the real names of YouTube stars and real names of Monstercat artists, and that's when it hit me. Tristan's real name is Leanne Barumbe. And if that was true, then was I standing in the presence of one of the most famous Monstercat artists? I mentally slapped myself and shook my head. Leandre Barumbe are probably really common names in Canada. There's no way that could be Tristan. Gabe smiled a little, then motioned at my shirt. It was a Monstercat shirt, and asked, "So, do you like Monstercat?" "Yeah," I responded. There was silence, and I realized that my parents and Leo were talking in the other room. I mudged game and asked, "Isn't it cool that we live so close to the city that Monstercat is located in? I mean, we could run into pegboard nerds while strolling around the city." Gabe shrugged. "Or while strolling around here. Do you know what kind of neighborhood you moved into?" A hippie community?" I sarcastically asked. He rolled his eyes and continued, "No, you've moved into a neighborhood that all of the artists in Monstercat's history live in." "Jessica, you know my brother Leo, who you just met?" "Yeah, he's Tristan." Oh my god, man. That's fucking insanity, dude. There's definitely a whole neighborhood where every single artist that has been on Monstercat lives, because I totally believe that. You know? Chapter 3. Interesting fact. It is actually possible to choke on thin air. And that was exactly what I was doing as I stared at Gabe in disbelief. He casually flopped down on the nearest couch and said, "I'll give you a moment or 2 to recover from this shocking bit of news. I mean, most people have no idea what he looks, or that he has the world's most annoying little brother." "And you admit that?" I asked. "Finally have gotten over my choking on air fit?" "No, I don't just admit it," Gabe whispered. "I wear it like a badge." I burst into laughter. Gabe laughed along for a bit, then said, "Okay, now we need to talk about slightly more serious stuff." "Ah, who am I kidding? I'm never serious." "Well, the first part of this is slightly serious." "What?" "You can never tell Leo that I told you that he's Tristan. He doesn't like people knowing about it before he tells them." "That makes sense. And the second part? That's just a little who's where. When you're standing in the doorway of your house, looking out, to the left are the pegboard nerds' houses. Michael's is first, Alex's is second. Across from Alex is Varian. Oh god, I don't want to read all this. Then going to the right, there's Braken, Efixa, Stephen Walking, and Mike Darlington. Across from Mike Darlin, there's fucking Going Quantum, then me. Oh my god, what the hell? I began attempting to respond to his words. I mean, how do you respond to news like that? Because I didn't know how to respond, I changed the subject. So, do you watch anime? Oh god. Gabe seemed to get what I was trying to do and nodded. Yeah, especially Attack on Titan. That show was just plain awesome. From there we launched into a conversation about anime and manga. In the time span of about 5 minutes, we went from talking about Attack on Titan to discussing Fruits Basket. What the fuck is Fruits Basket? And just about every...
The only reason I know what that is because one of my friends was reading it, and she was like, hey, do you know what this is? And I was like, no, I hate anime. Oh, well, screw you.
And just about every anime and manga. After that, Leo walked into the room and said, Hey, Gabby, we have to go. You have drum lessons this afternoon, remember? Gabe jumped up and said, Okay, just give me a minute, and Jessica, give me your contact info. Ooh, he wants her number, dude, I'm telling you. Man, this is escalating quickly. Cake, I said. Cake is my go-to phrase for okay. We quickly traded contact infos, and I said goodbye to both of them. After the two had left, I calmly headed up to my room and threw myself onto my bed. I was silent for a moment.
Whoa, deja vu.
Then I buried my face into my pillow and let out a long scream. It wasn't a scared scream, more like a happy scream. Like the scream I let out when one of my favorite Monstercat artists is releasing a new song, or when the next issue of my favorite webcomic comes out. But honestly, what was happening to me in my life was far better than that. My summer was suddenly starting to look a whole lot better. This is great, man.
I guess you could say her summer was fun.
Johnny! Oh god, that was even worse. Chapter 4.
I'm just trying to do an impression of the scream that was just there.
Oh my god. Jesus. Chapter 4. Later on that day in the afternoon, I had decided to head out and explore the neighborhood. My parents had told me about the park somewhere nearby and offered to give me directions to get there. I refused. However, what's the fun in exploring if you don't get hopelessly lost at some point? Dion Timmer lost. Before I headed out...
Right after I did that scream, I just dropped my controller.
Yes. I decided to do a change of clothes.
I'm gonna try that again. Okay.
Jesus. Oh my god, stop, dude. That's the ones that I already had on were too warm for the weather. What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh my god.
Okay.
My mic, you cursed me, you faggot. My mic fell as well. God damn it. My mic fell as well. In my bedroom, I stared at myself in the mirror that hung above my dresser. My longish brown hair was tied back in a messy ponytail that I had been wearing for 3 days straight. I have to do something about redoing it. My dark brown eyes seemed awake and alert, which was the same way that I felt. It seemed strange how quickly I had adjusted to changing time zones. After giving myself a new ponytail, I headed out to the majestic world. Whoa! When I first stepped out of the house, my headphones hanging loosely around my neck, I was blinded by the sunlight, pure sunlight, right off the bat. It doesn't say that, I just wanted to put that in there. For a haywire moment, I stood on the steps, slowly adjusting to the brightness. Then I continued to walk. The place seemed eerily quiet, almost deserted. If Gabe was telling me Tristram truth, and the neighborhood really was Laszlo home to every Monstercat artist that had ever Stephen Walking Walker's The Face of the Earth, then it should be at least a little louder than a Draper Ghost Town. I think they meant to put Ghost Town in there. Suddenly I heard something. It was just in my hearing range, but I knew what it was. Someone somewhere was playing dubstep. The music had a luring effect to it, and I started to follow the sound. A few minutes later, the volume of the music had increased, and I could identify the song being played. It was Melody of Memories. That's not a dubstep song, you fucking retard. Which definitely wasn't what I had... was definitely what I had heard when I first started to hear the music. The source of the music was somewhere in a grassy area, with a few trees scattered around it. That must have been the park my parents have told me about. As I approached it, it seemed like only the sound in the world. There was no blowing wind, so the leaves weren't blowing, the birds weren't singing, and I couldn't hear anyone.
The leaves weren't drifting.
The leaves are drifting. Sorry. And I couldn't hear anyone mowing the lawn. It was just me and the song. And also the person who was playing the song, since that would be the only logical explanation for hearing it in the first place. I felt rather curious about the song, about the coven silence, and about the person. I stopped walking for a moment and thought, I'll just check out the song. If there is someone there, which there probably will be, I'll hang out of their view. I won't need to talk or anything, just investigate and get back home. Yeah, that will be easy. I made my mind up, and I headed into the park, towards the mysterious stranger. Not stranger, but sound. I wonder who could be playing that music. Cough, Varian. Cough, cough. Chapter 5! How many chapters are in this? Holy shit. After the song ended, the guy turned towards me and exclaimed, Yo, look in front of you. Hey you. Hey you. It says hey you. It says hey you. I'm keeping that. Hey you. I jumped, then mentally slapped myself in the face. What was I thinking? That hiding partially behind a tree would turn me invisible? Actually, yes, I did. Everyone knows that hiding behind trees turns you invisible. Not. In a panic, in a Dion Timmer panic, I quickly stuttered, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, bing, bang, walla, bing, bang. No, she actually didn't stutter that. No.
Yes.
No, it said ooh, ooh, ah, so I had to sing that in my head. It said ooh, ah, he, hello. The guy gave me a warm smile, which put me slightly more at ease. I'm Nick,
Actually,
he said.
Dude, hold on. Dude, I have to go.
Alright, man. I'm gonna have to read this by myself.
Good luck.
Thank you, man. I will see you later.
Yeah. Alright. See ya.
See ya. The leaves are drifting. Alright, Galley dead, so I'm gonna have to cover. I'm Nick, he said. But most people call me Varian. And you must be Jessica. Am I right? I quietly asked, How do you know your name? Varian finished, then motioned to the general area of Gabe's house and explained. Gabe told me. While Leo was driving him to his drum lessons, he texted me about everything that had happened, including the fact that he told you about the neighborhood, and what it is, and his brother's true identity. So he wanted me to tell Leo that I was the one who explained everything to you, instead of him. I nodded, then asked, why was Gabe so worried about... Leo finding out that he told me about Leo's true identity? I mean, it can't be that bad. Have you ever made Chuck Norris pissed off? Baron asked, seemingly avoiding my question. I rolled my eyes and asked, what does that have to... I said, he began, his voice steadily growing louder. Have you ever made Chuck... Wait, sorry. This is fucking stupid. Here. My fucking phone just fell off. Wait, why did I say fell off? It fucking turned off. I'm retarded, dude. Alright. He said, "Have you ever made Chuck Norris pissed off?" "No," I squeaked. He laughed and exclaimed, "Well, until you've made Chuck Norris pissed off, you don't know what the wrath of Tristram is like." Then he leaned against a tree that I had been hiding behind and said, "So tell me some things about yourself." "Gabe told me quite a bit, but I'd like to know more about you from, well, you." I sighed. What the hell is my problem? Okay, so I moved here from a small town in New Hampshire. I'm still not all that happy about where I ended up. I mean, yeah, it's cool that my neighbors are DJs, but in the end, I'd give anything to be back with my friends. "How about music?" he inquired. I shrugged. Well, if Gabe is smart, he's probably figured out that I'm a pretty big fan of Monstercat. I'm not one of those crazy people who would break into some artist's house and steal all their clothes, mind you. But I would start to have a nervous breakdown in my head if I met one of the artists IRL. It might not look like it to you, but as of current, I'm having a massive mental breakdown. Varen shook his head. Why? Why am I reading this? If anything, you're more composed than most of the artists when they walk into the Monstercat HQ for the first time. And now that I'm thinking about Monstercat, two more things. First off, do you produce? And if so, what's your YouTube? I'm not sure if, I began. Telling a Monstercat artist about the fact that I make music almost seemed like self-promotion in my head. You know, self-promotion. Self-promotion. Check out Bacon Breath on YouTube, mate, if you want to. Alright. And if so, what's your YouTube? My YouTube is Dogs Barking, and I feel after I'm gonna be done with this, I'm gonna, end the video. And, I'm not sure if I began. Oh, sorry, I already read this. However, I quickly continued. Actually, I do produce. My YouTube channel / artist name is Digital Echoes, and yeah. I searched up the name Digital Echoes on the internet after writing this section. It turns out that it's also the name of a Ukrainian web design company. The more you know. Varian nodded. Cool. So secondly, I need to leave. Vila. You know who Vila is, right? Yup. Okay, so we're doing a recording session today. That's just a little spoiler of what's going to be coming out soon. Oh, new Varian song of Vila. Can't wait to see this. If we're going to be neighbors, which we are, you might as well start getting spoilers on unreleased songs. So, see ya. Then he walked back to where he had been sitting before the conversation, grabbed his stuff, and left. After a few minutes of just standing there, I tried to comprehend what had just happened to me. I slowly strolled over to the willow tree. I sighed and leaned against the tree, closing my eyes just a little bit. It was sort of something I did after something nerve-wracking or just plain out of the ordinary. And to be honest, that's what life was starting to become. Nerve-wracking and out of the ordinary. Or maybe it was just jet lag. Jet lag can make me feel like that's the way my life's heading. Lol. And so can back to school, even though this story takes place in the summer. For me, the full force of school has hit me, and I am tired. Hence the reason why this chapter took 5 days to update, and to me at least, the writing seems sort of choppy. As I get into some fucking update we don't care about. And yeah, that is going to be part 1 of Matthew Reed's Monstercat fanfiction. So yeah. Yeah.